Hey folks, Craig Danger, vinyl record player. Back, and unfortunately, a terrible week for Soul Legends. As a matter of fact, we just actually ended up doing a tribute video for Jerry Butler, who passed on Thursday, and unfortunately on Friday, Gwen McCrae, originally known as Gwen Mosley, born in Pensacola, Florida, December 21st, 1943, and unfortunately passed yesterday, which of course is February 21st, 2025. Gwen was really a new find for me. Really, it just was in the past couple of years that I heard her music, but ooh, that voice, spectacular. Basically, growing up, she was very much in the church, and you can definitely tell that in all of her records. Very gospel-oriented sound. She married her husband, George McCrae, early on. They did some duo work in the 60s, and actually another star soul luminary, Betty Wright, as a matter of fact, did end up getting the both of them signed as a duo to Cat Records, which is of course a subsidiary of TK Records, a really kind of outstanding Miami soul label, really active in sort of the late 60s and early 70s, or actually all through the 70s until about 80. But at any rate, I just wanted to kind of give tribute to Gwen, talk about certainly her debut album. This, of course, Rockin Chair. I have talked about this many a time on the channel. I think it's really just cover to cover an absolutely outstanding document. She is absolutely fantastic on this. And of course, as I've said before on many occasions, Rockin Chair, the sexiest song ever recorded. I mean, you know, that's just Craig Danger being Craig Danger, but I truly believe it to be the case. Gwen just absolutely with a searing vocal throughout this album. This, of course, is not her proper debut, but of course what happened is her husband George records a single, goes top 10 on Billboard with Rock Your Baby. She does an answer song, courtesy of Clarence Reid, who is all over this album. Writing, and basically her song is Rockin Chair, which ended up being her biggest hit, a number 9 hit on the Billboard charts, and basically broke her wide open. Unfortunately, she never really matched the success to that, but this album, of course, was released after her debut, her self-titled debut, and they called it Rockin Chair. Put Rockin Chair on the album, and it really just kind of, this is an amazing record to start with. Earlier on, she'd had a hit that is on this one called For Your Love, which is, ooh, absolutely dynamic. That one is probably from about 72. This album is from 75, so it, of course, is a 50-year-old record. But all over here, if you're a fan of hip-hop in any way, a lot of samples here. Move Me Baby, He Keeps Something Groovy Going On, Let Them Talk. This whole album is basically cover-to-cover goodness, and really shows Gwen, I think, at her incredible peak. Like I say, very smoldering voice. I can only say sexy. The woman just has a really kind of a special tone that really, I think, was kind of unmatched. She had a number of albums throughout the 70s. And then, of course, I have also this one, which represents more of a 1980s sort of reboot for Gwen. And this, of course, features the song Funky Sensation, which was actually quite a big R&B hit at the time. You see Gwen on the back in perfectly 80s oriented wear. And yeah, this, of course, is on the Atlantic label. This would have been after TK, Alston, and Cat labels actually went out of business. But this is also a great album. I do not have many of her records. I will, of course, continue to look. But like I say, in the 70s, her peak really was Rockin Chair. She tried with a number of singles and really kind of never got the same recognition. But Funky Sensation, again, really good example of sort of that rare groove that many folks, particularly in the UK, tend to look for. Actually, Gwen did end up maintaining a lot of popularity in Europe, whereas in North America, unfortunately, you know, as things go, a lot of old soul performers tend to, you know, find less recognition in their home country, more in Europe. But again, this is also a classic album. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't, of course, talk about George and Gwen McCrae together from 1975. Ironic only because within a year they would be divorced, but beautiful couple, and each really sort of pioneers of that Miami sound, along with, of course, Betty Wright, Lattimore, a number of different artists. But this album, I have also said, is the sexiest album ever recorded by a married couple, and I absolutely believe it. This is a fantastic record that is not to be missed. It is on streaming. In fact, I think the Rockin Chair album is not, but I believe actually Gwen McCrae is available on streaming. Some of the early records on Alston, TK, and Cat. Unfortunately, there just seems to be a lot of permission problems in terms of rights when it comes to having these released on streaming. But this one, of course, is. And I mean, I'll do the Rockin'. It starts right off. Mechanical Body is a fantastic one. Homesick, Lovesick, Let Your Love Do the Talkin'. Really just a phenomenal album by a married couple that, again, was still going strong at the time. Really, I think a sad loss for soul music in general. Gwen McCrae, absolute legend in my opinion, and certainly there are a couple of videos, I believe, on the YouTube. I will see about putting a link in here. I will also create a playlist of really kind of some notable and fantastic jams by Gwen in the comments, so please check that out. Like I say, really a fantastic performer. But I will also, in that playlist, include a video that I think this video is sometime circa in the 2000s. Gwen doing a version of Rockin Chair live, and you know what? She sounds absolutely fantastic. Just absolutely smoldering, as Gwen tended to be. Of course, I learned today that basically she had a stroke around 2012, which made it very difficult for her to move around and to perform. So unfortunately, that's why you don't really hear a lot about her since then. But again, absolute legend has passed today. Gwen McCrae, born December 21st, 1943, and passed just earlier yesterday, February 21st, 2025.